We were raised by a single mother. When I was about 4 years old, our house burned down. Insurance didn't cover paying off that mortgage. So fortunately, my mom was a nurse and she was able to work a ridiculous amount of hours, some 80 hours a week, and pay off that mortgage while still finding us another place to live. So I've been fortunate to have a lot of really good role models in my life. Obviously, my mom being at the top of that list. Okay. When a is good, why rock the boat when my child support's low? Yes. I run her as well. We know who it style from.
She always very passionately said, I'm going to be an attorney. And she'd look at me with dead set eyes, and I 100% believed her. And not only just becoming an attorney, but actually being a good attorney that is going to make a difference. Erin's passion sets the bar for everyone else in our office. So we're at home on a Saturday night, it's 8 o'clock, Erin's phone starts buzzing. It says a lot of our staff who's feverishly working to prepare for the cases that we're going to handle that next week. They share Erin's passion, and it's contagious, and it's been spreading through our firm.
All right, thanks for staying so late. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. I love doing family law. I feel like I really help people every day. I feel like we really make a difference for people, and I feel like families are benefited from the work we do. I started this firm with $2,500 in my bank account, and in the course of a year, I've helped over 200 families find a way to get through the turmoil that they're experiencing. I'm Erin Morse, and I'm here to help your family find your new normal.
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What are my rights? What are my rights?
What are my rights?
A legal course of action.
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 All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Legal Morse of Action. I have to pause every time I introduce a show because of the fact that I work on so many things. But as always, I am joined by attorney Erin Morse. How you doing tonight, Erin?
So good.
I do want to make a disclosure at the beginning of each episode from now on, because as I was going through some files today, I saw our old video that literally read the waiver to everyone, letting them know that the information given on this podcast is not the how would I say it? What's the best way of saying that? Like,
doesn't create an attorney-client
exactly
relationship. It's not legal advice. You need your specific facts to be analyzed, and
not all cases are the same. The information given by Attorney Morse is in general.
The famous, it depends.
It depends, exactly.
That's what we need to tell you. It depends.
Yeah, let me flip this out. There we go. So earlier in the week, I had talked to one of our clients, and he was just raving about the show. And shout out to him. But he made a comment that kind of triggered me, which was like, you guys should.
Sorry, I got distracted by work.
Oh no, you're fine. He made a comment saying that we should do a rapid fire Q&A podcast. I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. We have neglected a lot of questions over the past few weeks because we just get caught up.
Fault.
It is my fault. It is totally my fault. I will take the burden on that one. But we have a lot of questions that we are going to go over tonight, and we are always open to taking the questions from the live feed. So if you have any questions, please feel free to throw them out on the live stream. And the reason why I'm going to be saying the next few words is because I forgot to hit record on the Audacity. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new
Audacity.
welcome to a brand new episode of Legal Morse of Action. I am all over the place today. My name is Patricio, and as always, I'm joined by attorney Erin Morse. Thank you, and sorry for you having to put up with my shenanigans today. Okay, so let me get a quick test from you real quick.
Testing. This is a test of how I sound.
Okay.
Good, bad?
I'm gonna move.
Different?
I'm gonna move the microphones.
Where do you want it? A little nasally. I have a runny nose. It's not COVID, okay? We got tested.
All the technical difficulties have been taken care of.
We were tested.
And everything came out negative.
It was negative.
Awesome. How many COVID tests have you had since we're about to hit the 1 year anniversary?
Well, I had surgery, so they gave me a COVID test for that.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me a COVID test 2 days before while I was in the hospital. And then I got one recently kind of because I have this runny nose from my cute little runny nose monster. And it was negative. So I've never tested positive.
That's good.
I took my COVID test, passed.
It's crazy that these condenser mics are picking up the stuffiness in your nose. I can hear it.
Well, I'm using it when I speak.
Let's see. Shout out to, yes, we know, Supa, we should get dynamic mics, but those are an arm and a leg, and I'm working with what I have in my arsenal, sir. But hey, who knows? The stimulus check is on its way. It got signed this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
So,
how much is the stimulus for?
$1,400 if you're making under 80K a year.
Okay.
For individuals such as myself.
Is that to shame me?
No.
Just kidding.
Oh my God, no.
Burn. Ow.
But on top of that, we do have a shit ton of questions, and goodbye boost right there.
Yeah, there goes the boost.
Are you?
I had an opposing counsel today. I dropped the F-bomb.
Really?
Yeah. Are you shocked that I dropped an F-bomb or that I have an opposing counsel? Both of those things are very common.
No, I'm just shocked that you dropped the F-bomb during a hearing.
It was during a hearing.
Oh, okay.
Although I have if it was necessary.
Because I had overheard you talking about, some language getting exchanged with the judge at one point.
In a jovial manner.
Okay.
It wasn't angry. No, I dropped the F-bomb. I actually don't remember really saying it, and he confronted me about it, which normally people don't do because I'm a grown-up. He made a comment about me saying that, and he goes, "Do you speak like that in front of your son?"
Whoa.
And I was like, on occasion, if it arises.
Yeah, bitch, please, I do.
And I was like, but he's not on this call, if you could imagine.
So was he offended by you using?
Well, he's like, oh, no judgment. I have 4 children of my own, and I don't speak like that. And I was like, well, you obviously feel something about it. You commented on it.
Yeah, you made him feel a certain type of way.
I was like, you feel something.
Mm-hmm.
So I made sure to call him out on his feelings about a word I used. And they say women are more emotional. I argue we're not.
No, you guys express your emotions better than us. We just don't know what to do with these things. These things called feelings, and when they come out, we don't know how to handle them.
It's an IQ deficiency.
Your
Your emotional IQ is the biggest predictor of your success.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh man, I am doomed for all eternity.
If you have a high emotional IQ, you can overcome a lot of things. It's like common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what the fuck does it matter to you? That's how I felt.
You want to jump into these questions?
I'm ready.
Okay. I do have a barrage, and what's your problem? Well,
I got a lot. Alphabetically or by most potent.
What is your problem with double stuffed Oreos?
I don't like all of the stuff is the problem.
Is it that the texture is just even a single stuffed
It's that
Oreo?
when you take a bite of it, all of it comes out the side and like falls, and then the double stuff isn't even there.
Now it's become just a wide single
Now
stuff.
it's become a mess. And honestly, the normal amount of stuff is enough. Y'all always want extra. You need it to be more. No.
Are you a fan of all these new styles of Oreos that come out?
I like the what do they call them? The blonde Oreos, the
The
vanilla.
the yellow.
No, yeah, the yellow ones.
Yeah.
The vanilla.
Those are delicious.
I love those. Those are a big hit with me and my son. We both like them.
And crazy enough, those cookies have been around forever. Oreo was just like, you know what? Let's just put an Oreo
Yeah,
on
let's
it.
stamp our. Sam makes fun of us all the time because Connor and I have a lot of very similar tastes.
Mhm.
Like I gave birth to almost a clone of me in a lot of ways. Things like we both don't like chocolate.
I don't under. Is it just the texture or the taste?
I don't like the taste. I
Okay,
don't
okay.
like, if, for example, if I were to get like a protein bar,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wouldn't do like the chocolate version. Like that fake chocolate is the worst to me. Or like protein powder, the fake chocolate protein powder.
Yeah.
It's the worst. And I just like my preference wouldn't be to have a chocolate bar. I like caramel or creamy desserts.
What about with your coffee? Like,
Coffee to me is like a matter of habit.
mm-hmm.
So with coffee, I don't really want sweets with my coffee.
Okay, fair. All right, thank you for that crazy question right there.
Weird.
Next one. Can I legally decline a visitation to a non-custodial parent if I feel they would be unsafe for the child?
With those facts alone, no. We're gonna rapid fire them. I'm just gonna answer the question. If you guys have follow-up questions, I want to see them in the comments. By those facts alone,
Mhm.
I feel no. Your feelings are not valid in court.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something. I feel no.
Right, that's all you said. You feel they won't be safe. Oh, that fact alone, no.
Do you, maybe it's mother's intuition, maybe it's father's gut, whatever it is, but you don't feel the child will be safe, so no on that one.
With that fact alone, if
Mhm.
there's more information to that, or you have more information, because parents worry all the time.
Yeah, it's normal.
You could fear that going to school they might get beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean they're going to get beat up?
No, not necessarily.
If you presented that to the court, would they be like, well, that's a good reason that he didn't go back to school for 6 months?
It wouldn't be a good enough reason.
No, that alone, right? We're always afraid.
We're
always afraid for our children. So if you have more information, something more concrete or something better you can tell me than that, all right, maybe I'll listen. But that fact alone, I want to tell you no.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for the question. Next one coming up. I want to know how to get my visitation rights back from my son's father. I was homeless for 2 years, but I'm now back on track with my life, and I want to see my son.
I want to see the final judgment that took your time sharing away and file a petition for modification.
Boom.
That's how I would start that analysis.
Do you? Because I see all the time people who are on the corner asking for money, and if you look to the side, there's sometimes they are with a family. How is that not being picked up or reported?
I don't have enough information.
Okay.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about that. I said, we don't know.
We don't know.
Right? So the part of me that is a lawyer goes, it depends. And it isn't necessarily illegal to beg on the side of the road. They may have a home, but they may be they may be food insecure, and that's why they're out there.
Out there and asking. All right.
I don't know.
Next one. Is there any truth to domestic partnerships here in Florida? My
No.
boyfriend and I have been living together for 8 years, and we're happy with our current status.
Cool.
So
No.
there's no truth behind that.
Get married if you want. If you want to be married, be married. If you don't get married. There's no common law marriage either in Florida.
Okay, I think that's what they were trying to go for with that question. So
Nope.
So where does that even come from? The whole common law thing.
Well, common law.
Should I use common sense?
Yeah. It actually came from case law a long time ago. That's what common law really means is case law.
Mm-hmm.
But there are states that recognize it.
But
And it's
Florida
7
not
or
being
8
one of
years.
them.
Florida is not one of them. They used to at a time.
Ah, okay.
So you could get a divorce from the time in which common law was valid. I think those people probably aren't alive anymore. But if you could have established a common law marriage in another state, Florida will recognize it here.
Okay. Beautiful. Next question. If I'm married and my wife hasn't filed for divorce, can I take my children and move back to my hometown in Kentucky legally?
Yeah, but you're a dick.
Really?
Yeah.
He can move with the kids
There are
before.
no laws on what you can do with your children during an intact marriage, short of it being abuse, whatever.
Hmm.
She would have to do something like file for divorce and try to get you to return the children.
So it's basically like 24. He's got a certain amount of time to get out of here.
Yeah, or agreement, right? If you've been there, if you end up being there for 3 years and then she's like, I'm going to file for divorce today and try to get returned to the children, the court's going to go, haha, no. It's been 3 years and you knew where they were.
Gotcha. So, dude, get out of here. Go to Kentucky. Get some chicken. Next question.
Get agreement by your wife. Pay her. Get your divorce. Settle it now.
407-900-7451.
Seriously, settle it now so you don't have to deal with this as an issue that we're going to knock down, drag out, and you're going to spend $20K litigating that issue alone. And then I still have all the other issues of your divorce to deal with. Don't want to do that.
Next question. I am 16 years old and my mother sent me to live with my aunt 6 years ago. I can't live with my aunt anymore because it's mentally and emotionally killing me.
Call DCF, bro. Seriously, you need to call DCF. You need to get them involved. Or emancipate yourself. Get a job. Become self-sufficient, which is hard to do. It's hard to do at 18. And I'm really sorry you're going through this.
How old were you when you had your first job, Erin?
14.
What were you doing?
I was working at Domino's. I was making pizzas. I loved it. I loved that job.
You often refer back to Domino's a lot here at the office. So like
I
you must have really, really liked it back then.
I did. I worked there until I moved to Florida when I was 18 or 19.
Oh, so you're there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I became the manager. One of the only times that store had 5-star rating was when I was in charge of it. Seriously, they did like these, surprise drop-ins to see how you're doing and if you're following their standards. And they did it when I was on shift as manager. And we got a perfect score on everything. It meant I was keeping my drivers in check. They were delivering shit on time. My pizzas were good. Because they just show up and they're like, okay, we're going to take this pizza out that you just cooked and see if it meets our standards. And then I'm going to do a printout because, you had to like hit the buttons. Like there was a computer screen every step of the way, like as you finished it. So as you took the call, how long I spent on the call, how long it took me to like make the pizza, put it in the oven, get it out of the oven, get it out the door, right? All those things are time tracked. That's why Domino's could do so easily that pizza tracker.
Yeah.
Because they had always been tracking it. Like
wow.
Back when I was a teenager, they were tracking time on how quickly you could make a pizza.
Oh, that is cool.
So it was super easy for them to roll that out because they were already tracking all of those things. That was already a habit.
Because of you, I've begun to study analytics. I would love to see the analytics behind pizza tracking because that would be some wild information. So
people who say it isn't true, I'm like, I know that it's true because even before we like made it so you could see it on the internet, I was already required to do it on like DOS computers.
Oh man.
Like they were just they were black screen with orange text and highlighting.
Okay.
And it looked like that. So we had been tracking so you would take the order, you would enter in the information so you could, once you answered the phone, because the phone system would come up. The phone system would come up and you would have to hit enter on the phone number when you answered the call. So they could tell how long it took you to take the call and take the pizza order because you had to hit enter and start taking down, all their information, get all their pizzas in there.
That's real efficient.
And then once you hit enter, like the order would like print out and come up on the next screen. So the pizza makers, rather than the phone call answers, the CSRs, would know to start making the pizza. So they start making the pizza. And then once the pizza was from your hands to the oven, you hit a button next so that it then could go to the driver's screen.
Wow.
So they were already tracking all of those things.
That is insane.
So when people are like, it's not true. And I'm like, I had to literally do this with a DOS program.
Do you think, and the last question before we move on to the next one, do you feel like Domino's is like the supreme pizzas?
I worked there and I really loved working there. And I feel like they had very high standards on what they expected for cleanliness. Like it was run open and they established their systems and procedures from somebody who was in the military.
Okay.
So it's very military style. Now, my mother was a lieutenant in the Army, so obviously this worked well for me, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at taking rules and instruction from things and utilizing, right? It's also why I became a lawyer, because I take all these rules and laws
Mm-hmm.
and I can, interpret it and make it work for me. It's why I was able to manage drivers and getting times out the door and answer a phone and make a pizza and get, so it worked for me. I like that kind of structure. I assimilate well with it. So their cleanliness and their requirement and like everything, like he would measure the temperatures of my onions.
We're moving on.
Anyway, 5 stars.
Next question. I filed a motion to reopen my divorce case. Now, the case says reopen online. What happens next? Will there be a court date set?
No. You'll have to contact the court, and you need to want the court to do something. If you just wanted to reopen your divorce and you're like, just open it, the court's going to be like, what the fuck for? What do you want me to do? For what reason? Do you need a change? Do you need a modification? Is it wrong? Do you need to appeal it? Like, what do you need?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? What do you really want? But what do you want?
I learned in my early years of working in law, the steps and what needs to be put in a motion to make sure it benefits you and your client. And since working here, you have added more and more and more to that. So
I know.
Yeah.
That's why Domino's worked so well for me. I have my
We're
own,
off Domino's.
I'm not done with them. I'm not done with them. I have my own procedure book that I made. I wrote it. It's like 200 pages. Just me, blah 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 blah. This is what you do.
No, but there have been times that I have referred to your Bible. I mean, your handbook.
Yeah.
To go over some procedures or what to do and what not to do. It really is
It's decent. So I got a question on my personal live stream.
Okay, throw it at.
How old does the child have to be to decide they don't want to go to the other parent for the court-ordered time sharing?
Ooh.
Now, I know this person personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say her name. But presently, the court-ordered time sharing for you is none. Your children don't have to go, and we'll fight that battle. Anyway, so you're good, and I can take good care of you because she's one of my people. So I can take good care of you. You're going to be fine. Let them fight you on it. You're good. But the answer to that question generally for everybody else, not her circumstance, she has a little bit, although it's tough for her, from a legal perspective, she's in a better position than most.
Okay.
And she's somebody that I love dearly. So I'm always going to take care of her, and she's probably always going to be fine with her custody issue. But generally, the answer to that is 18.
Mm-hmm.
But a child who's 15, 16, 17, and they throw down that they don't want to go, the court kind of understands that you're not going to force a child of that age to really have to go with a parent they don't want to go to. They're too old. That's not a law. That's case-by-case basis. Again, this person's case,
Mm-hmm.
you're good because there isn't the court-ordered time sharing, and there's such a major violation on the other party's part. Girl, I got you. You're fine. Okay, you are good. If your child is fighting you and saying they don't want to go, don't send them.
Make sure to like and share the video, girl. I don't know her name, so I'm just calling her girl.
Yeah.
So hopefully she can share.
I like love her. I do. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure we take care of her kids, and she's gonna be okay. I actually got a really good court order on her case where her ex-husband is paying monthly my attorney's fees. So I'm sorry for this, but he's a fucking dope.
Not you, Sue, but the other
not
dude.
you.
Yeah.
So, you're good. You in particular, you personally, you're good. If your child is throwing down that they're not going to go, based on what I know about the facts of your circumstances, you're one of like the very few people that I know who is entitled to just go, nah, I can't go.
Not feeling it, bro.
So
thank you so much for the online question.
So sometimes it's true. You can do that. But there's a lot more mess in that case.
Next question is, can I be held in contempt of court for claiming my children on the year that their father was supposed to claim them according to our court order? The court order did not start until last March.
Yes. And the court can fashion a remedy that you owe him the money got.
Damn, girl.
And attorney's fees. And other sanctions if they so choose. That he gets the next 2 years.
You got to put your pinky up to do that.
The next 2 years. $1 million.
Thank you so much on that one. Next question coming up. My ex has a no contact order. He is on the mortgage and I am on the deed. Can he force me from house? Can I force him from house? So I guess he's trying to
What does the no contact order say?
You,
Because is it product of an injunction?
or it could be a product from a battery case or criminal case.
He's on the mortgage. I am on the deed. Can he force me from the house? My ex. Probably got to file something. That sounds like I need more information, but you probably do need to file something on those set of facts.
Okay, so we would need more information on that one, but
you could file a motion to figure that out.
and there would be a remedy to that, correct?
Right.
That could be beneficial.
It might be civil if you guys aren't married. You might have to go to civil court because you can't deal with property issues in a paternity matter.
Ooh, did not know that.
But if you're married, I can handle it.
Next question. Do you consider watching porn a form of cheating in a marriage?
It doesn't matter if I consider it, matters if you consider it. Right? So this is about your relationship. I don't. But that's about me and what my relationship looks like.
Okay.
Okay? And how I feel about it.
I was in a 9-year relationship where she had made the statement that porn was cheating.
And she's entitled to feel that way,
100%.
right? Some people are in open marriages where they don't consider,
Actual cheating.
sexual contact with other people cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, not my problem, I guess, but it matters if you consider it. I personally don't, but that is a personal opinion. If it becomes a problem, I'm going to consider the problem, not necessarily porn, but my significant other's behavior.
Fair.
Right? So there's your
answer.
Your analysis, I guess.
I want to file for divorce and get...
I got you.
and get full custody. Am I still able to get benefits? Can I receive benefits if he is not here legally? So this sounds like a family case with a little bit of immigration involved.
So if he's not here legally, our family law court doesn't generally care about that because they're not the immigration court. It's generally the domestic relations court because that's what they call themselves. It's their perspective that it's not their job to deal with immigration. Because guess what? It's not. So they're not going to deal with it.
So even if there is an order for a parenting plan and then homeboy gets deported, like he still gets deported, right? And he can be found in contempt for not abiding by the orders of the parenting plan.
Right.
Okay. Get that one.
But there's no such thing as full custody in Florida, so you won't be able to get it.
I feel
Have a nice day.
I feel like you should get T-shirts with that because you are constantly...
You can't have full custody. I should get it on like a plaque. I have a plaque up here that says it's not illegal to be an asshole.
And I actually show that off to guests when we have people in the office for the show.
Yeah.
Because I praise you every time, and I'm like, no, you have to see this plaque. It'll change your life.
It's not.
My father, my child's father left at 3 months old. My spouse has been raising him since 1. He is now 11. Does my son have to go with the father if he is awarded 50-50?
How did you let him get awarded 50-50? Did you forget to call?
407-900-7451.
That's the problem. But yeah, you do.
Dang. And like how you stated before, like, children to a certain age really don't have any rights or say when it comes to the parenting plan.
Just like they can't play in traffic if they thought the game Frogger was fun. Come on, they don't make the decision.
That is a dark analogy.
Right? But it's true. Frogger's kind of dark, if you think about it.
I mean,
the frog's getting hit by cars.
Well, he's trying to get across the street. I mean, there's no...
I understand.
I'm not going to defend.
Do you allow children to do it alone?
No, hell no.
Bitch, no, of course. Then how do they decide where they go? You don't allow them to stay home because they think school is unfun.
I just found it funny that you use Frogger as a reference for that, and that makes sense. I don't question you, Erin.
I made another good analogy about getting hit by a car. Another good car hitting analogy. Getting hit by a car is a thing, I guess.
Question: Do you have to give the father? Do I have to give the father of my child a copy of the social security number for our child? Paternity has not been established, and he is not on the birth certificate.
No, you don't have to do anything for the baby daddy who has not married you and is not established paternity. He can kick rocks. He can go play Frogger. He has your permission to do that.
I feel like that's going to be the clip of the week right there. Oh man, you are burning right through these. I love it. We do have, we got a couple more. Let's do it. Next one. If both parents agree to custody and this was presented by two attorneys, signed and notarized, does the court acknowledge this agreement?
In most circumstances, yes, unless it's something crazy as hell.
Well, I kind of want to ask, like, what would be considered crazy as hell in your eyes? In the realm of family law,
a court might reject a custody agreement that requires both of the children to be separated.
Okay.
Right? Dad only has the boy child and mom only has the girl child. The court might turn that down. I mean, a custody agreement, that phrase makes me cringe because that's not what we use, but I'm going to use it for the purpose of this question. That says dad will punch the children in the face every Wednesday. A court would strike that down, right? Even if both parents agree, like, need their discipline, their Wednesday morning discipline. So a court might strike that down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It depends if it's crazy. Most of the time, presented by attorneys, agreed to by both parties. I think a judge will typically sign off on it.
Okay. And I was just thinking in my head, like, we just had an order earlier this week that got in a sense accepted and rejected all at the same time. So
petty. I had to get more creative with another motion that it was like the same thing, but with more different words. Legal law, objection.
And the way you described it,
right.
the way you described it to me, with the cake and the frosting, was the same way I described it to the client, and he was like, "Oh my God, that makes so much sense. Thank you so much."
I'm good with the analogy.
You really are. A dum-dum like me is able to.
It's not a dum-dum. I think that the legal system tries to unnecessarily complicate things, and it's really unfair.
So this question, I remember when I was putting this in, I had to change something because
I got another good question.
It was too long, but this is coming from a grandmother, and I'm reading it as she typed it. My son has shared custody, but doesn't really see the kid. Grandparents have been taking his visitation instead, which is fine with the mother. All of a sudden, she takes her away from us. Anything we can do?
Not if you're the grandparents. No.
Oh, sorry, boo-boo.
So I got a question.
Let's go.
Is a court order required if a time-sharing agreement has been signed and filed? Yes, because legally the court has to review and make sure that they find that it's in the best interest of a minor child. You could set aside a parenting plan that hasn't been ratified by a final judgment.
Settings. Okay, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's all I'm going to say about that. I know you have a lot of questions. Set up a consult.
407-900-7451. I'm saying it louder because she's recording from her phone, and I wanted to pick up my booming voice.
It's a lovely voice.
They know the number. Next question. Can I put in a parenting plan to not return to court with modification requests for at least 3 years if both parents agree?
No.
And this actually kind of falls under the whole crazy agreement thing.
Right. You can't. So you're basically abrogating someone's right or potentially your children's rights, right?
And in a sense, your own in a way.
Right. And it's a lot of rights. None. There are no grandparents' rights. You in particular have a lot of rights because I need a lot of help. Annabeth.
Hey, Beth.
You have grandparents' rights, but nobody else in the state of Florida does. So
So no to this question.
right, and for example, child support is the right of the child to receive, and if there's a substantial and unanticipated change in circumstances on the child, on how much child support is, you'd be abrogating the rights of the child.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be an unenforceable provision. So even though the judge may sign off on it, I think if you still filed a petition for modification, you'd still be able to be heard.
Would you have to file a motion for reconsideration?
I wouldn't. I would just file the petition for modification.
Okay.
And honestly, with how long it takes you to get through a court, I would probably just wait the 3 years and be like, this isn't worth it. Like, wait the 3 years and...
Rapid question. You ready? Can a person with a 10A get deported for not paying child support and smoking weed in front of his kids?
I don't practice immigration law.
Okay, bye.
But yeah, probably.
Can I file for divorce by proxy if I no longer live in the U.S.?
If jurisdiction is still here in the U.S., yes.
Beautiful. Next question.
And I can do it for you. I've divorced people where one party lived in Germany
Mhm.
and one party lived in England, and jurisdiction was here by the facts of their case. And I divorced them, never met them, done and over.
And we actually had a question. Well, not a question. We had a prospect today asking us who are in the military.
And that, like, there were so many questions I had. I'm like, you have to set them up with a consult because, like, I have to hit all these bullet points.
Yeah, and you even said, like, it would take you at least, like, 20, 30 minutes to go over the actual questions to be able to move forward.
And that's the point of setting up the consultation and why they're paid for, because
Yeah.
I have to give you legal advice through them. And I don't want to have to hold back on that legal advice. I got a question.
Go for it.
Follow up. This is a follow up from the other question that I had. Is the time sharing agreement enforceable if not court ordered? Yes, you could still file a motion for enforcement on it, and then it becomes court ordered typically, and they will enforce that agreement and typically also find it in the best interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they will. It is very hard to set aside an agreement is the other aside to that.
Nice. Next question. Where'd they go? Do I have to pay child support
Yes.
if I sign over my parental rights?
Yes. You do not sign over your child's right to receive child support.
All right. Next question. Can my VA disability be garnished for child support if I'm listed as permanently disabled? How
Yes.
can I terminate my parental rights?
No.
Come on, man.
You can't terminate your parental rights just because you want to.
I have people like messaging me about the live. I'm like, just ask the question.
Yeah. Or I mean, they may not want to be connected to the.
Well, no. They could totally ask. Like,
Let them send you the questions.
yeah.
Anonymous.
If you're watching and want to ask a question,
Text us.
yeah, text us. 407-900-7451. We are able to take text messages.
And they're confidential. We don't release your name.
Exactly. And sorry for if I blew up your
Thank
spot.
you.
My bad. Okay, so it was no on that one, right?
Right.
My next question. My son and I are not living with his father, but we are still together and he helps. But my mother, I currently live with, deny him from coming over to the house. Can she deny him seeing my son?
No, but she could deny him coming to her house. It's her house.
Oh, Beth, no, you can't put that up there. I'm not going to put that up there.
It was a
Okay.
bad one.
Huh?
It was a bad one.
It was a question, but I'm not. Yeah. My pregnant wife of 2 years left me with no notice
She's
and
been
moved
pregnant for 2
to
years.
well,
Sounds awful.
with no notice and moved to another country. What are my options without getting a divorce? So they've been together for 2 years, pregnant, leaves country without notice. What can he do without having to get divorced?
Nothing. You have to really kind of go through the domestic relations court because you don't control people. You don't own her. Write that down.
Oh, jeez. I love these. I love these. We're down to our last two. And if anyone on the live stream has any questions, please speak now or forever hold your case till next week. The next question is, can a office call over the phone to serve a restraining order?
No.
I got a call at 1 a.m. saying I have a restraining order and that I have to bring my son back to his mother.
No.
At 1 a.m., I'm gonna say this from
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
from experience in working in criminal law. If there is no way an officer is going to call you and inform you that you have a warrant, and especially on an injunction, that doesn't happen. You have to get served.
They don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, they don't want to give you a heads up on that one.
Just a heads up, you should run. Just disappear. I don't want you to do that.
Yeah, I actually had a client one time from a previous firm call us and say that he'd received a call from an officer that he had a warrant because he had hit his girlfriend. He wasn't even in the state at the time, and I'm just like, yeah, there are just some shady people out there.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Oh, and someone right here, Jennifer says,
yeah. If you don't call us back immediately and give us money, the IRS.
We had some of those cases where people were getting those calls, and it was for like a solid 2 months where people were getting calls that the IRS was coming to get them, and that, oh no, you can get legal help, but you'll have to pay the IRS a certain amount of money right now to hold off the warrant and start processing your case. And we had so many people call us saying, hey, I paid. Do I still have a warrant? I'm like, oh my God, you dum-dum. You actually paid. People.
Don't answer the phone if you don't know the number.
No, definitely. And the last question that I have for this evening, can I file contempt for my child's father getting his girlfriend pregnant? Our parenting plan say we are not to have overnight guests whom we are involved with stay overnight while the child is there. First of all,
what the fuck is first of all with this question? You can have sex during the day and get pregnant.
Is that how sex works?
I mean, I get it. You can't get pregnant during the day. Everyone knows this. You took sex ed. Come on. How do you know that it happened on a night your child was there? Does he have 100% of the overnights?
I'm sure. Like
what's wrong with you?
Just by that question alone, like I have more questions. Not only just about the situation itself.
Also, why are you this worried about it?
Some people are.
Plenty of parents in intact marriages sleep with their husband or wife.
Mm-hmm.
And their children are in the home. This is literally how siblings are made.
And thank you so much for that question.
So don't let that. What I want to tell to this person who had this question.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let this get to you. Okay? Don't start overthinking this. Don't start making this a part of what you think you need to think about or what you think you need to worry about with your parenting plan. I am fairly confident it didn't happen in front of your child and your child was sleeping when it happened, or they locked the door. Let it go. Let it go. Come on. What are you doing? You know?
The questions that come
Guess
in.
what? You know what else?
What?
You don't control people.
You scared the shit out of me when you do that. And like you're like, yeah, my headphones cover my entire ear. When you shout, you scare the shit out of me, Erin.
You don't control him. And you don't control him because you share a child. You cannot be mad that he has a new relationship. You should get into a new relationship yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
Like stop living in the past, move forward.
And I mean, set up those boundaries. If you don't want him to watch porn, make sure you tell him.
That was a curve right there.
All right. And on that, close it down.
Close it down?
That's it.
Okay. If you want to set up a consultation, 407-900-7451, or go to morse-firm.com. Right there, click on online links, set up the consultation, get it going, because if you need help, Erin's your girl. 100%. And we'll see y'all next week.